Alright lads, here we are for the penultimate race of the F1 2014 modded career mode. We're here in Brazil. In qualifying one, we've got some intermediate conditions to contend with for this first session, so we'll look forward to a very interesting qualifying session here. 52% chance of rain, with the potential chance for it to get even heavier as the session and the day progresses. So it's going to be very interesting. The race is completely dry, so we've got to go for a compromise here. We can't afford to go for a wet qualifying setup when all the points are scored in the race. So we're going to struggle here in this first session, but I'm hoping that we should be able to get a fairly decent grid position in this wet qualifying session, and then we'll see how we go in the race. But here we go. At the end of our first qualifying lap in Q1, we go fastest with a 15.3, 5/10 clear of Esteban Gutierrez, and I decided not to run for the rest of the session, decided to save my tyres. We ended up 14th, but, you know, I could have put in an extra few laps and been alright with that. But anyway, cutting to Q2 now, and the track is completely dried out. So in the space of 10 minutes, the track has gone from intermediate conditions to full dry, and that's Codemaster's logic there for you. So the end of our first run in Q2 rather, we've gone 14th, and for some reason we just don't have the kind of pace that we had in Q1. It's a little bit weird here. I would have thought Brazil being one of my strongest tracks, I would have been easily in that top 10 here in Q2, especially since I'm running with option tyres. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I haven't put in the best of laps, but, you know, in saying that, I should be around that top 10 mark. But either way, this is our final lap here in Q2, trying to get in a nice and clean lap. Coming through the middle sector now, we're half a tenth up on our previous best, just under 1/10 shy of Nico Hulkenberg in 10th place. So fingers crossed through this middle sector we can make up a little bit of time in regards to the AI sliding the front end through that middle part of the lap. It seems like this Toro Rosso, I've said it many times before, it just lacks that just residual mechanical grip. The front end seems to slide out too much, and it really does hurt me sometimes. But, you know, normally that kind of helps me in qualifying. In the race, it's a little bit more of an issue when tyre wear comes into it. But coming through this third sector now, we're 2/10 green on our previous personal best. Still only just shy of Nico Hulkenberg as we come through the middle sector. Looks like coming across the line, we might not be able to come into the Q3 session here, and we don't. That is the end of our session. We haven't got any more laps of fuel to run in this session, so we'll be starting the race in 13th place. That is absolutely devastating for our championship hopes. Nico Rosberg still has the lead of the championship, and he might be on pole position. I'm not too sure. Daniel Kvyat in 14th, but the story of the day has been us, a championship contender, qualifying in 13th place in the penultimate race of the season. This race is going to be an absolute struggle, so we need to get off to pretty much the perfect start as we now cut to the pre-race lobby or garage. We can see our race strategy. We've got a 2-stop on our hands, but judging on the tyre wear we had last season, I think it's going to be a 2-stop on prime. So luckily I've saved up all my prime sets for the race. I've used up pretty much all my options as well. I've only got one set of options to use for the race, and I'll probably be using that off the start here. So hopefully a fresh set of options can give me some kind of benefit as we're going through our setup here. We've got one more fresh engine to use for the final race, so hopefully that can provide a benefit. Just looking at my tyres now, making sure I do have the fresh set of option tyres on the car for the start. So here we go, Brazilian Grand Prix, wish me luck. Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate race of Season 4 of Career Mode. We need to get off to an absolutely perfect start here, and away we go. Looks like Massa's got a bit of wheel spin off the start, but his getaway now is fairly good. We've got so much wheel spin though, overtaken by our teammate Kvyat. Now we've got to pick our line through turn 1, 2 and 3, try and get the super undercut off to the left, cut back to the right, get a really nice exit, bit of wheel spin on exit, trying to go around the outside of Kevin Magnussen here, and looks like we're going to get the job done just using all of our curves in the slipstream of Alonso. Going up the inside into turn 4 now, and we switch to the outside, get around Raikkonen. Button gets a poor exit, and we're going to take him as well. So going from 13th all the way up to 5th in the matter of 4 corners. This has been an absolutely perfect start here so far in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Next up is Daniel Ricciardo and his Red Bull, and the leaders are within sight now. We dive bomb Ricciardo up the inside. He leaves the room. We're trying to hold it round the outside. Ricciardo gets a poor exit, and we have a better exit on the second part of that corner. We go round the outside now into P4. I need to take a breath. This start has been absolutely hectic here, getting from 13th all the way up to 4th. Hamilton has now made his way up into 3rd, so that means Rosberg's in 2nd, and I believe Vettel is leading this Grand Prix. Now cutting to lap 2, we can see Hamilton is on the move. He's trying to pass his teammate Nico Rosberg around the outside into turn 1. That's a fairly nice overtake there from an AI, but Rosberg looks to be struggling at the moment, and we need to capitalize on that just for the sake of the championship. Using DRS, maybe a bit of curves on this back straight here. We go purple on the previous lap, but we're not done yet. We want to keep going and trying to overtake as many cars as we can. Hamilton is up next, and as you can see, lap 4 going purple. Hamilton makes the move on Vettel. We got the inside of Vettel, who broke slowly because he was going side by side with Hamilton, and Hamilton, for some reason, he's just going ballistic in this race. He wants this championship, and he's trying to grab it by the balls here. Lap 18, lapping Marcus Ericsson there, and Hamilton now has a 23-second lead. That is not... Surely, Hamilton, Hamilton's on drugs this race. He's absolutely flying in this race. For some reason, we don't have that kind of consistency that Hamilton has. The tyre wear has actually been pretty bad. I was struggling to make it to lap 21, our recommended pit stop window. We were starting to lose about a second a lap to Lewis from about lap 10. So, you know, the tyre wear hasn't been that great, but hopefully the Toro Rosso can react better on the primes. Maybe the temperatures in the track are not on that correctly. I don't know. For some reason, it's just not gelling that well. But rejoining on the track, we've done the undercut on the majority of the field. The rest of the AI will be coming in on this lap, so we need to push on this lap. Hopefully Grosjean doesn't hold us up too much, and it looks like he hasn't. So we should be able to capitalize on some of the cars that are coming in on this lap. Grosjean giving us a nice undercut, or not, a nice tow here on this start-finish straight. Looks like the majority of the AI cars are coming in, including Grosjean, Raikkonen, Alonso, Bottas, and company. Rosberg comes in as well. So that promotes us up into P5. Button is behind us in P6. Massa going quickly at the moment, setting a 14.1, so it looks like he won't be pitting anytime soon. But cutting to lap 23, we've got a few more cars coming in to the pits. I believe Raikkonen and Ricciardo are making their stops. So at this phase of the race, some of the AIs have split off into split strategies. Some cars are running the option tyres through this stint, some are running primes. So it's going to be interesting to see who's quick at what phase of the race, and just see like who comes back at who when they're on the slower or faster tyre respectively. So lap 27, we had Ricciardo trying to pass us up the inside into turn 1. He backed out of it, so that left us with P3 for the moment. Now he's trying to come back at us. We're trying to go defensive into turn 4. We managed to hold the place as Ricciardo backs out of it, and we maintain P3 at the moment. I believe Massa has stayed out on a set of primes. Either he started on primes or he stopped really early and he's undercut everyone. It's a bit weird. Lap 29, we can see Button there weaving on the start-finish straight as he goes up in a 3rd. We counter-attack though into the fast double right-hander, get P3 back, and job done. We're losing quite a bit of time to Massa now, who will be coming into the pits in a few laps' time. As you can see on the replay there, going side by side with Button. And now lap 30, Massa still hasn't stopped yet. Bianchi getting in the way perfectly of Button, who was trying to attack me coming into turn 4. So his car was perfectly placed. Now look at this, lap 34, we come to lap Pastor Maldonado. He tries to get out of the way as we come into the penultimate corner. He brakes really early. Now watch behind us. He takes out Ricciardo. So he's brake checked the cars behind me, taking out Ricciardo. He's out of the Grand Prix. No safety car came out because of that. But Maldonado living up to his classic reputation that he has in real life. But either way, lap 39, we can see Jensen now on the attack, round the outside into this hairpin, and he goes in a little bit too hot there, runs off wide, and drops a place to Rosberg now, who is really favoured well after Maldonado took out Ricciardo and slowed up a couple other cars. But now lap 42, we can see we've made a lock-up. Bottas has now skipped through into P3. I believe Rosberg made his stop as well a few laps ago as well. Button now into P4 as we're completely just losing the tyres now, trying to stretch them out so that we can run one more set of primes to the end of the race. So losing quite a bit of time here to the leaders, and this is really costing me big time, but I just Need to get to lap 44, 45 just so I can get to the end without having to make an extra pit stop. And Button there gets the undercut fairly well into P4 now, and I think he might be gone now. Unless we can get the DRS here on the start-finish straight, use up all of our curves, put it up in a fast, and hopefully slip past him again. Sergio Perez now into P6, and he's faring well at this phase of the race. It looks like Button now is coming in for the undercut on lap 43, and he should be able to take his primes to the end of the race. So on the very next lap, I'm coming in for my final stop of the race. I'm trying to react to what Button was doing. Hopefully the in-lap has been fairly good, and I should be able to come out just in front of him. Hopefully this pit stop from Toro Rosso is a good one. Pit stop is 3.1 seconds, so once again Toro Rosso are really looking after me this season. Rejoining on the track crucially, it looks like it's going to be close between myself and Button. He's coming out of turn 2 now, and yes, he's jumped us to P5, so we need to react immediately, put it up in a fast, use up a little bit of curves, and try and get within that 1 second DRS window and pass him on the very next lap. Here we go. Start finish straight. He goes defensive on the main straight, but we got the inside. We're just a little bit more hungry, and we take P5. Next up is Valtteri Bottas. Bianchi going defensive just like Button was, and I sort of already committed myself to going up the inside. And at this phase, trying to manage the gaps to the car behind. Bottas skipped away. It seemed he had quite a bit of pace as my tyre wear started to really kick in. Lap 69 lapping. Is that Marcus Ericsson? I didn't see the driver name, but we have Sergio Perez now putting us under pressure as we cut to the final lap. Lewis Hamilton has won this Grand Prix. I believe we're going to finish in front of Nico Rosberg and a crucial 12 points to add to our championship tally.
Congratulations, that's a well-deserved fourth.
Alright, so there we go. The Brazilian Grand Prix has been done and won by Lewis Hamilton. Felipe Massa pleases the home crowd, coming home in second, and a good performance from Valtteri Bottas to get in front of us and finish in third place. The gap to us, though, was quite substantial, as our tyre wear really wasn't that great today. Where was Nico Rosberg? He finished 11th, so we've scored another crucial amount of points over him in the championship. We might possibly have the lead as we cut to the driver's standings. No, Lewis Hamilton, out of nowhere, has taken the championship lead. So coming into the final race in Abu Dhabi, double points, it's going to be a three-way showdown between Lewis Hamilton, myself, and Nico Rosberg. Wow. I've never had this before in career mode. It's going to be a three-way fight, and I have absolutely no idea how it's going to go. Tyre wear is going to be the ultimate deciding factor. We do have the pace. We do have the race strategy to do it. It's going to be a matter of how we can perform on the day. So that's been the Brazilian Grand Prix for today. Until the next race, the season finale in Abu Dhabi. I'll see you guys next time.